Welcome back to the engine room. Today we're working on my 5x8 utility trailer. Planning on putting a couple of motorcycles on here at some point, and wanted to add a little bit of some provisions for that. So I've been kicking around the idea of putting the stake pocket sides on, or the sides in the front, and then creating some kind of like thing for the front so that way the tire can come into it. But I started pricing out 5/4 lumber, and it would have cost me like $300 to do this all in wood, and then it'll rot. So I'll make the sides at some point, but this will be a hell of a lot cleaner, and it makes it easy to remove and everything else. So what I'm doing here is I got these 2-foot sections of E-track, and these E-track mounted motorcycle stirrups, or chocks, or whatever you want to call them. And they're pretty good. They're pretty heavy duty. They got good reviews. These E-track, what my game plan is, I think I'm going to just trim off. If I trim off one section, they'll fit perfectly in between my D-rings, and then they'll kind of sit like right there. And then I can adjust the front tire wherever I want. I mean, I don't have a ton of adjustment, but I have some adjustment. I have the D-rings to tie down to for the handlebars. I can tie off to the actual units themselves, and I got these E-track clip-in tie downs as well. So it gives me a lot of versatility. And then when it comes to putting anything else on this trailer, I could just pop these off. I probably won't even keep them on the trailer because they'll be outside and they'll get like rusty and gross. But the E-track will get bolted on, and it'll add a little bit of rigidity to this section as well, because the E-track itself is structural to a certain degree. And yeah, I'll paint it black. And I mean, I'm really not, I want to really be careful with what I do with this trailer in terms of adding stuff to it that's not removable, because I want it to remain versatile for all the different things that I do with it. So like, I put my mini skid on here. I just put a golf cart on here. I want to be able to put a couple motorcycles on here. I want to be able to put maybe even, I mean, it's rated enough. It's a 3,500 pound trailer. In theory, I could put 2 utility 4-wheelers side by side, like sideways on this thing. They're only 4 feet wide. So like, yeah, it would be a giant chunk of mass rolling down the road, but it'll handle it. So point being, I want to maintain the versatility of this thing. And I think this is going to be a good setup. So I probably have about 800 miles on this trailer so far, and it's just been great. It tracks so straight. Even when it's unloaded, it's great. It's got the big tires. I don't know if I want to pass someone, I can get on it and go, and I don't have to worry about these things spinning to the moon. So been really good. And the lights came out nice. Everything else came out nice. So I'm going to get going on this. I'm going to take these off. The one thing I did notice is the way that these are configured. Like, they're 4-bolt to the E-track clips. The E-track clips are on the front. So you have to leverage them this way. This side has to go down for it to be able to come out. But you have this rubber bumper in here, and it's kind of impossible to do. So I watched a couple different reviews on these, or similar ones, and some people complain that they're really difficult to put on and off. Others are like, oh no, it just pops right off. But I think the problem here is they're just putting this backwards, depending on who's installing them. So in this configuration, they're extremely difficult to put on and off. But in the other direction, you could just tilt the whole thing that way and pop it right off. So I'm probably going to spin these around. And also, this is most of the time when you put a motorcycle on, you're pulling it forward into the chock. And in this scenario, you're actually pulling it against the clip, which is fine. It's structural. It's designed for that. But why not put the clip? It's better in every way to put the clip on the other side. So I think that's going to be one of the things that I do, or it's definitely going to be one of the things that I do, is unbolt all 8 of these bolts and flip each one of these little clips 180 degrees, just for ease of installation. And also just like they'll be set up in such a way that it makes sense, because it's kind of foolish right now. Like even these, like if I'm pulling in, like this is a good example. This is the clip on the inside. If I'm pulling in this direction, in theory, you want it to be this way, because there's no moving parts on this side, and you can pull all you want this way, and you're not pushing on this little piece of metal in there. So right now these are set up this way, so you have to unclip, pull back, and then tilt up to take it out. And same when you're going in, it has to drop in. So you need this extra angle that this rubber bumper is preventing. The rubber bumper is great, but not for this application, or not in this scenario. So if you turn it around, now you can just go nose in, or rather, I'm sorry, you go back first, and then just drop that side down, move it forward, and you're done. So I'll swap them around as well. But first what I'll do is I'll cut these E-track, get them lined up, get at least a couple bolts in, and then we'll start playing with this, start drilling all the holes out. I ended up going with 5/16 grade 5 bolts. These are from Home Depot. These holes are set up for 1/4 inch. I don't know, 1/4 20 1/4 20 small. And like they're right on the edge of 5/16. So I'm just gonna drill them out and it'll be way cleaner. No washers on the top, just the hex head, and I'm gonna do a washer, and I got nylock nuts for underneath. So everything else on this trailer is welded. Even like these bolts that I did for the D-rings, I welded the bottom and turned them into rivets. But these will be fine. These are nylock. They're gonna be more than okay. Yeah, so that's nice. They fit good. They don't interfere with my D-rings. So I'll measure off the front. I'll make sure they're all square. I'll get at least 2 bolts in, and then I can really just start drilling and going to town. But it's gonna be good. I still have these. I'll get them all lined up, and should be good. And then in terms of where these things mount, I mean, I can come all the way out like that. So like that's pretty wide. And then all the way in, which I'll probably never really do, is right there. It's really narrow, and I'll be hitting handlebars for sure. And then let's see, split the difference is 2 on either side. So that's center. And then that's center, which is pretty good. And I'll take some measurements. We'll put some bikes up here and see how they feel. I may have to go 1 click out or whatever else, but it gives me a good amount of room for movement. So I got 1, 2, 3, I have 4 different positions on each one, left to right. Yeah, so here I basically just got these lined up, got 2 bolts in, caddy cornered, and then just went crazy drilling all my holes. So I drilled pilots first, then I went around with a step bit, drilled them out. The holes in the E-track were actually a little small for 5/16 hardware, so I had to open those up too. And yeah, 5/16 18 by 1 inch long, no washer on the top, washer on the bottom with a nylock nut. So plenty of strength here, really happy with it. Just went around with the impact, made it really fast, and came out really, really sleek. So I've got these both all bolted up. So all the way across, all tight. Got plenty of room for these D-rings, so they can move around. These aren't in the way of anything. When I come up here with my mini skid, I don't come this far forward, so I'm not worried about like weird forces on top of these. So they're out of the way, and they're another tie down point. So, and universally configurable. I mean, I can put all those little rings on there, and now I got my motorcycle chocks. So I flipped one of these as I was talking about. So this is what I was talking about. So this one I flipped over, or maybe it was this one. Let's see. So this one has them set up like that. And when you put them in, you really can't get it in because you have to go down with this side to be able to get it in. And I guess that's the complaint that people have. So just did that to kind of show. This one, you go forward with it, and that's it. And now it's in. And you're always going to peg the bike forward, or you're going to pull it forward, and that is the side without the hardware. So this one goes in, and then this side this will get the brunt of any kind of load because you're going to pull it this way, and you're not relying on this little clip. So I think it's just foolish out of the box. But like I said, there's all these reviews where half the people are like, oh, this thing's great, it clips right in. And then the other reviews are like, oh, I can't get it in, I got to play with it, I got to shave down the rubber thing and everything else. It's just whoever's putting these things on. So it's just a matter of flipping them around, and they work perfect. I mean, these things are awesome. So these guys, not super necessary, but I mean, I'll probably end up popping them on, and then with one strap, go over the top of the back of the tire to keep it in. And then on the D-rings, I can go up to the handlebars. And then on the back, what I'll probably do is just run one strap through the tires and just keep the tires down so that way they don't jump. And then there's no load on the suspension. The only load on the suspension is just the stabilization left to right. So you don't want to crank down on the suspension in a weird way, because it's not good on any of the suspension, on any of the seals or anything else. So I got clip type Go Rhino straps. I got the soft shackles, or whatever you want to call them, the soft loops. So I'll put those up on the handlebars. So I'm really just gonna have the one strap over the front tire, one strap over the front. The front one will actually pull it together or pull it forward. I have the stirrup, and then the 2 lines up to the actual to the handlebars, and that'll be it. So super simple system. I might get creative with this, because these are actually nice, these rings. I might like use one strap if I have 2 bikes. I'll like hook to one, go up over the tire, go through the next, then up over the other tire, and then down. That way I'm not dealing with like a million straps, and also it takes up a lot of the slack because they're pretty long. But that's the game plan. So I'm gonna flip the other clips over, and I'll show that on video just so that way that's clarified. It's pretty simple, but I'll show that, and then we'll put the other one on. We'll see how this thing looks, but certainly coming along. So these are just carriage bolts. So they're square head or square hole, flat top. This is 10 millimeter, because they're metric. But all we're doing is flipping these 180 degrees. And now, backwards. Good to go. It's gonna be good. So center to center distance on these works out to 26 inches. So 26 inches center to center. 26 divided in half. So center line is 13 inches. So in theory, you deal with this configuration, handlebars up to 26 inches wide. My handlebars are 32. So let's say we'll go out just to make them line up a little bit better. So out to the next one is almost 30 and change. So, I mean, I'm going to play with it. I'm going to say we're probably going to tilt the bikes a little bit, out just a little bit. Or worst case scenario, we go all the way to the far. All the way out works out to 34 and a half. So that's almost perfect. That might be it. That might end up being where they go, because that way the handlebars aren't hitting each other. There's plenty of room on the outside. The handlebars will overhang a little bit. There'll be some room down the middle. So I'm going to play with it. Right now, the game plan is to put 2 full-size bikes on here. My KDX 200, 03, and my cousin's 07 KX 250. But we'll see how they line up. I mean, one might have a longer break on the front, on the front suspension. They're both full-size bikes, but I mean, we might be able to stagger them a little bit. So we'll see how they end up. The dimensions are slightly different, but that's the beauty of the E-Track, is the fact that you can kind of play with it. I mean, maybe we want to shift them to one side, put another pit bike on here or something else and strap it down. So it gives you that level of versatility, which I mean, everything in my life has to be used in one way or another, or just have that, nothing can be designated. It's got to be, like this trailer I use for everything right now. And I want to be able to continue to use it for everything. So this will work really well. I find it really funny that there's so many videos on YouTube about people talking about these being difficult to put on a day bike, and it's really just a matter of setting it up like that. And like I said, when you pin the tire forward, you don't want it on that on the hardware portion. Granted, it's strong enough, but like it should be on the side with no hardware. Like even these, when you're using the clips, if you're going to be pulling in this direction, flip it around, and now you're pulling against the fixed portion instead of against this clip and this pin. Granted, it is strong enough, but now you're only on one point, or one pivoting point, all that force, when you could put it on the two and have it nice and balanced. So, all about how you set it up. I think that'll be it for this one. Pretty happy with this. I'll take some video once we get the bikes on here and see how it looks. I measured out this in terms of length. So like I went as far forward as I could because more tongue weight is always better. This trailer has a 3,500 pound axle, so it's pretty bouncy, or not pretty bouncy, but it's not super soft suspension because I use it for everything. So more tongue weight, the better in this case. Pulling it with a 2,500 class vehicle, so tongue weight, good. Also for sway and everything else. Granted, this thing doesn't sway. I pull it empty all the time, and I actually pulled it with almost negative tongue weight with that golf cart on it yesterday, and it was just, it did a little bit of shimmy, but not enough to be concerning, and it really wasn't set up properly. In terms of weight, people really take it for granted how they just throw things on trailers and think that it's going to be fine. Oh yeah, it fits in the square. It's fine, but there's a lot that goes into it in terms of weight distribution, and just especially wheeled vehicles, moving them forward or backwards an inch or two makes all the difference because you're focusing the weight on that one point. So your center of gravity kind of changes depending on where the wheels are. Granted, it's easier that way, but especially like if I was to put a four-wheeler on here, like a quad, like a big ATV, you can play with the strap job in terms of moving it forward or back, and it'll completely change the dynamic of how the trailer feels and how it tows, and and really just the stability of the whole thing. So dirt bikes, not too worried about it, but it definitely is in our best interest to have the bikes as far forward as possible in this case. So that's how we're set up. These are pretty cool because they have a little rubber bumper. I made it land kind of like right on the edge. Granted, there's not really any, they're structural just in the down portion. There's really not going to be too many forces down, but definitely forward. So now that these E-Track clips are flipped, like it's really set up for success. And should be really nice. The front tire, once it's all the way up here, should kind of come like here-ish. So it's gonna be really nice. And this is a tilt trailer, so loading and unloading might be a little funky. I don't know, maybe I'll I don't want to say I'll ride them up, but like you walk them up with the clutch in first and then let it tilt. I have this quick clip right here. So when it releases, or I could set it in such a way that like when you finally get over the point of, you get the center of gravity over the axles and it comes forward, it'll just clip and it'll lock. So you don't need to worry about it flipping back down on you. So pretty good system that way. But this is gonna be good, and I think that'll be it for this one. I'll get some video next time I'm running it with the bikes on here, and that'll be it. But hope this helps somebody. I know that these were a point of contention. I watched a ton of videos, and everybody's like, they don't fit right. Mine do, mine don't, and nobody ever talks about the stupid little clips. So here we are. Thanks for watching.